Oh wow! Breaking news: they just added the Super Mario Kart OST to Nintendo Music. Oh my god! You can listen to fucking the bleeps and bloops of your favorite Mario Kart.
Ain't no way.
I don't want to be mean. I was gonna say, do you think that's anyone's favorite Mario Kart? But it's like, yeah, I mean, probably. I don't want to be too mean. It's
what,
fine.
like the first one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably. There's like a certain nostalgia for the SNES sound trip, but I mean, it's just funny that that's on fucking Nintendo Music.
I love how they drip feed it. It's so stupid. Like, I don't really use it, because I'm not like in a crazy friggin' like frenzy to listen to game music most of the time. You'll listen to it sometimes, but it's like the drip feed it makes it so much funnier.
And that's the thing though with music nowadays. It's like you never are like, oh, I gotta go to it. It's like, okay, cool, I have this on. Let me just put something on.
Yeah.
It's silly. It's stupid.
It's very weird. All right, well, hello everybody. We're Gamesline. We're the Gamesline podcast, and I am John. I'm hosting. Hello. This week I am joined by Maverick. Maverick, how you doing?
Hey, doing all right.
So, gaming continues to occur. We've been gone for like a few weeks, but the games have not ceased. I've been having a really good time with the games that I've been playing. I'll be completely honest with you. So I'm ready to just jump right into it. If you are,
okay.
All right. So I too finished Metaphor. If you want to have the final Metaphor discussion, we can do that because I also finished it. How are you feeling about Metaphor now that you have completed your quest? Now that the fantasy has become a reality, as it were.
Overall, I think the game itself was fine, but like, again, like getting to it at a very specific point and, putting my thoughts together on just like what that game is on like a symbolic level of sorts, but at the core, it is like a perfectly solid JRPG,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the ending is fine. Again, like, and I speak a little bit on this in a piece I'm putting together, but just like, I'm not expecting a, like, revolutionary text out of something that, like, Hoshino's writing. I did that before. I put too many eggs in a basket for Persona 5, and that left me burnt out. So, avoiding some of that this time around.
Yeah, I feel you. I definitely, I feel like I might have enjoyed it maybe a little bit more than you, maybe, but I think it's interesting that, it's having such a varied response, because I do think that, like, what it's trying to posit is interesting, and I think it's really good, but I also understand, like, its shortcomings and...
No, yeah, and again, like, it's a very specific critique, not of it being just full-on bad, and I think alongside that as well, like, if you're somebody that's just tired of the way that, like, the Persona team does their games, I don't think this is going to be something that sways you away from that. Yeah. Like, there very much is that DNA in here, but yeah, just having something that is full, like, gets away from, I think, the trappings of the contemporary settings that Atlas normally, like, plays with. It gives a bit more runway and, doesn't lead to weird just jokes or just like stuff that really bristles up against what's ultimately stories about, like, doing your best or trying to be a good influence on others. And so a little bit more idealistic, but like that overall is in favor of what the game offers overall. So
totally, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and
it's hard to. Mm-hmm.
I also did enjoy kind of cheesing the final boss, and the combat in that game is just really fun to like figure out and just lock down. It's really fun to just go through it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But not like anything else. I'm trying to put together like final thoughts down. Can't really get into like the stuff I'm really like still sitting on without just full spoiler territory,
right?
Which is another part. But not. I mean, I think or a P Studio / Studio Zero game that does not have a calendar system in it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are getting kind of sick of the calendar system, and like I get it, because I mean it didn't bother me that much in like Persona 5 and all that, but it definitely got a little frustrating here just because it was less that I didn't feel like I had the time to do stuff, but more there were so many days where I was just having to spin my wheels because I had done everything already, and it's just like, yeah, I just want to move on, and they kind of overcorrected, I guess, and that was at least for my playthrough. I mean, I like, I know that other people are probably ending up rushing stuff and feeling like they have to cram things in, and I mean, yeah, like I kind of ended up feeling like I like now that I think about it, it's like I did end up cramming stuff, but then I ended up just having time left over after I crammed it. So there's a lot less time for like a lot of those like side stories and stuff to breathe.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, there's a bit of a novelty to it, for sure. Bit of a novelty to it, but
yeah.
Really, I don't know. I feel like in this kind of a game, really could have just lent itself to more of like a chapter-focused setup. Having those, because you do still have those like major narrative beats act as a sort of like buffer, but...
Yeah, but there's also so many times where it's just like, all right, everybody, we did this thing, but now we have to wait for something to happen, like
exactly.
Oh man, there's a big storm so we can't leave the town. We gotta wait. It's just like, oh, okay, like, come on.
The canal is jammed. We cannot get out of town today.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, come on, let's just move on.
Yeah, and because it's like I play a lot of Falcom games, and don't know if all of them do, but there is a similar like calendar associated, but it's much more freer, because then it's like, oh yeah, let's go to like this date in this part of the year, just as like time progression, and then you'll just do your quests and then main story. Like it's more just a framing versus an actual mechanic of the game, or you have Atelier where it's like, oh yeah, days are spent essentially as like turns, and you're still going through like rather than going through like one calendar year, you're going through like 3 maybe, and from that, like just spacing out like how do you use your days, both the stuff that's like active game time, and then the stuff where it's like, oh, I gotta like move through the map, and so this is going to cost me like 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel like they are so married to that. At the very least, they'll do it again in Persona 6, but I don't know what they're going to do after Metaphor. Like, Hashino has said in interviews like he would want to do a sequel, but the fact that they're not just like immediately jumping to say, yeah, no, we're going to do a sequel is... I mean, I don't know, maybe there's like a whole, we don't want to just say that immediately because the first game just came out, but also I'm just like, yeah, like this seems like a grand slam. This seems like something that you would just want to make sequels of, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah, maybe. Otherwise you just end up with Metaphor, the Monarch.
Yeah. I mean... There's already rumors about that I've seen around that they're gonna put out an update version of it. But I mean, I saw some other talks that they're just going to do DLC, and I mean, I'd be fine with DLC if it's like, more stuff added to the story, or if it's like side content or whatever. I'd be fine with that. I would be happy in like a couple of months to go back to this world. Like I love those characters enough that I'd be happy to revisit it. But I mean, I don't know. It seems like they might be shifting over to just doing DLC if Persona 3 is any kind of example. I mean, I'm sure that if they, like, at least I'm hoping that if they port Persona 3 Reload to Switch 2, that it'll have the DLC bundled in, but who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But I guess you could just say what we do know is that the Switch 2 is real. They actually confirmed it. Finally, they had the trailer, they showed it, and everything that got leaked was true. It was just all the leaks were true. Maverick, I guess since I'm the Nintendo freak, I'll go a lot more ham about it. What are your feelings about the Switch 2? Just like off the cuff, what you saw in that trailer.
It seems fine. What is there to say about the Switch 2 at a point where, like, I think I was talking about it with a few friends where, if there is anything to applaud here, it's the fact that the Switch kept going for like a solid, 7 years. And what the Switch 2 is kind of just like, with it being more just updates on the original conceit, sure, there's a bit of like, I guess, disappointment, but also I think a fundamental part of this here is like, who's buying a Switch 2 right now, dog?
Yeah.
Who are going to be the people that are actually picking that up? Because, like, the Switch did the
out there.
It's tough out there. The Switch did the impossible of being like a high-selling game console, where I think it surpassed the. I'm gonna look this up now. If it surpassed the Wii in its like setup, yeah, no. So, doing a quick little Wikipedia lookup, PS2 is still holding it down. DS
supposedly there, people keep claiming that like, oh, they're like going back and like updating the numbers every once in a while to try to stay on top of it. It's like, that's funny,
right? But regardless, like, that was a like point where you could just look at new Nintendo system. Oh, I gotta go buy that. It's 7 years. A lot has changed when it comes to just like how we look at video games, and a lot of it looks like stuff that's done for the sake of convenience, and I think that's cool. But also, I don't know. I'm waiting until I know what like is actually going to be on this, or like what to look forward to before I start thinking about like picking it up.
So, as for John, look, I'm not really a graphics guy. I don't care about all that stuff. If the game runs, that's what I care about. So, this being a stronger Switch is music to my ears, purely just because I want Game Freak to be able to make games that are not running like dog doo-doo caca poo-poo pee-pee. And, I mean, honestly, them making the console stronger might not even fix that. I don't fucking know. That's their problem, but hopefully it does fix it. It's exciting for there to be another generation, because then there's going to be another round of the standard Nintendo stuff. We're going to get another 3D Mario. We're going to get some kind of like revivals for old stuff. We're going to see, I'm not a Zelda guy, but we'll eventually get another Zelda, and hopefully it's something that builds on Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and isn't just more of that. But also at the same time, I am pretty happy that it looks like there's going to be more games that are more modern and current that will be playable on the Switch too. Like, we don't have any big confirmation. We don't know any games except for literally one, which I'll get to in a moment. But there's a bunch of rumors that are just like, yeah, no, Elden Ring is going to be on this thing. Yeah, they're going to put Tekken 8 on this. And it's like, those are like new games, those are like, I'm not brand new, but it's a little exciting to be like, no, yeah, this thing is going to be about on par with like a PS4 Pro, kinda. So it can play current games, because they're still having to make stuff for PS4 as well as PS5 these days, so it's not like, back in the day where they were like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna make like a 360 version and a Wii version, and the Wii version's gonna be some like fucked up, like cartoon version, like the Ghostbusters game. It's gonna be a little compromised, but they were already doing that anyway for the PS4 version, so who cares? They're doing it already. They can just put it on the Switch 2 now as well, so that's nice. It's just it seems like it'll be a neat little platform. I'm not like flipping out about it, because yeah, it is just like quote unquote just an update to the Switch, but I do really, really like the Switch, and so having one of those that will play games better, yeah, that's all it needs to be for me. The trailer was just basically showing off the hardware, though. They showed that the controllers, instead of it being the slide in, like the rail, it's going to be held in with a magnet now. You just slap it on. It doesn't make it doesn't do the anymore. It does a like a clap. So that's pretty funny. But the rumors are saying that it's going to have Hall effect sticks, so we're not going to have to worry about the drifting. It's a little bit bigger. It's got a better stand, which like I still keep thinking about, like, why in the world did the launch Switch have that stand? Like, what were they thinking with that little like leg? The OLED, it's worth it to upgrade to the OLED if you take your Switch out and about just for the stand. Like, it's crazy that they didn't fix that. But it seems real. It seems nice. They showed a little bit of a new Mario Kart. And we know it's a new one because all the characters are slightly redesigned. Some people are saying, they look more like the movie, which is a little true, especially Donkey Kong. Like, Donkey Kong is very, very redesigned. But it does kind of look like they're also leaning into that, like, very old, like, Mario 3 era kind of art style to it all. Which is pretty neat. That they're, like, kind of going back to that older style of, like, a bit more squat, a bit more cartoony. I think it looks pretty cool. It also seems like there will be 24 player races in this game, at least up to that. I don't know if it's just gonna be 24 players standard, or if it's just gonna be like, oh yeah, there's a 24 player mode. But people saw there were 24 like positions at the starting line, so that seems pretty crazy. But that's like literally all we know. They said that there's going to be a Switch 2 Direct April 2nd. And there's rumors that there's going to be one last Switch 1 Direct in like February. Obviously they're just going to wrap it up. Usually they do one last big game for the console before they move on. I had no idea what they're going to do. I've seen some rumors, like, people are saying, like, oh, it's going to be, like, a kind of a revival thing. It's going to be a neat, like, revival game. I don't fucking know. We'll see. I'm just excited to see, new 3D Mario. Got to see what Monolith Soft is making, see what the third parties end up doing, if they end up doing, like, original stuff for Switch 2. Because, I mean, if it's a bigger game, like, I'll probably still just end up getting it for Xbox or PS5, because it'll be able to run it better, probably more steady, but it's nice that that the option is there. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not, like, doing backflips yet. I won't be doing backflips until they announce the Smash Brothers, if they do, which I'm not saying they're gonna, but if they do, then I'll flip out. But it looks fine. It looks cool. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm really just waiting to see, like, what is it that's going to be worth playing on it. Because,
yeah,
good to know that it'll run my Switch library. So whenever I decide to make that purchase, I don't have to, like, lose anything there. But also,
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, man, I don't know what I would get excited for from Nintendo right now. Like, there's a lot that could be cool, but it's also a matter of, like, are they actually going to, like, do any of that?
Yeah, that's kind of part of it. We don't really have any ideas of, like, cool stuff they would end up doing. Like all the stuff that I listed. It's like, okay, yeah, like, I will eat up a new Mario 3D platformer, but also it's like, we know that's going to happen. Like, what could they do to surprise us? But yeah, that's kind of the question, is like, if we knew, we wouldn't be surprised. So we'll see. I'm just ready for the fucking performance patch for Scarlet and Violet. That's what I want. If that happens.
If it happens, yeah.
If it happens, please. I'm just glad that they got it out there, especially because, yeah, it completely 100% leaked beforehand, and that was just crazy. That was fucking crazy. Let's see here. We could keep talking about news here. All right, so this one was just kind of funny, honestly. Couple of nights ago, Katsuhiro Harada, the director of the Tekken series, went on LinkedIn and updated his account to say that he was looking for a job, and everyone flipped out because they were like, "What? Tekken 8's still, like, getting updates? He didn't even, like, make any references to wanting to leave? Like, he's just gone all of a sudden? Like, what? He's quitting? What the hell?" And, like, an hour later, he responded to a tweet of someone asking him, like, "Is this true? Are you leaving?" He just said, I'll just read it verbatim. "Oh, don't worry about this. I meet a lot of people on a regular basis, but I don't actually have that many friends in my private world, lol. I just want to meet more people and expand my horizons in the future. I could talk to a lot of people when I turn this option on. Just that." He went on LinkedIn and just turned on his looking for work thing just so people would DM him. Like,
that, okay, I never understood how people would use LinkedIn as a dating site. I get it now.
I guess so. Like, he's doing the friends Bumble or whatever, like the friends mode for Bumble, and he's just like, "Dog, I just want to hang out. I just want to meet folks." But he was at, like, the fucking Japanese game dev New Year's party a couple of days ago. That picture got posted. He was hanging out with, like, fucking Sakurai and, like, Kodaka and Yoko Taro and shit. They were all hanging out New Year's.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not new people. That's just his guys.
Exactly. He needs, they were probably like, "We got to get more people in the New Year's party. We need more people bringing, like, snacks and shit." So this is how he's doing it. He's going on LinkedIn. He's saying he needs a new job. And then when everyone starts replying, he's just like, "Psych, you got to come to our New Year's party next year."
It would be funny as hell to be like, "All right, year one of the game is done. We got a lot of, like, prospects up. I think it's a perfect time to bow out of what is sure to be a 10-year cycle of this game that I put out."
Yeah, especially after doing, like, what? Like, he's been in charge of it since, like, 3 or 4, I want to say. And then just, like, very suddenly just being like, "All right, yeah, a year into Tekken 8, I'm out."
just getting into Evo, getting into like the whole prospect of like the mix of public figure and developer, just all this stuff. Nah,
I'm
fuck
done.
it.
I'm out.
I'm out. I'm gonna go work at my bar now.
Very funny stuff. Very funny stuff. Speaking of funny stuff, though, hey, they put Miku in Fortnite. It happened.
That they did.
Yeah, I don't play any Fortnite, but it was very funny just seeing Miku, like killing people on Twitter and Blue Sky. People posting videos of that, and she's got like 2 or 3 like emotes or whatever. One of them is just her doing the fucking Miku beam. Which is very funny. And then in the same chapter, they also have this, like, they added Godzilla a couple of weeks ago, like maybe like a month ago, but now there's a mode where you can play as like giant Godzilla, like you'll randomly spawn into the map as big ass Godzilla, and you could just cause havoc, and that seems pretty fun. And then they also added Kong from the Godzilla vs. Kong movies, and Mechagodzilla also from that movie.
The Mechagodzilla skin looks like ass. I'm going to say it outright.
Yeah, I could see that, because I do like that Mechagodzilla design from the movie. I don't like it as much as the original like Toho one, but yeah, I could absolutely see it looking like shit. Just the way that Fortnite models look.
Yeah, it's
a very strange time.
It is a bit shit. The other part with Miku and Fortnite is that you have some songs in the, again, fake game Fortnite, where now that they have harmonics, you essentially have a Guitar Hero in your Fortnite now.
Yes.
But, what is it? The songs were World Is Mine, which... Yes, that is a solid pick. Miku by Anamanaguchi, and Daisy 2.0, I believe, by Ashniko. This is the one I've heard come up, which I have never listened to, but like people are just like, this one.
Yeah.
So
I did see some people saying that they might also end up adding like Tato and like maybe put Mesmerizer in there, because they found some like string of code that said buy these mesmerizing items, and I guess stuff like that has pointed to characters and stuff before in the past. So I don't fucking know, but that would be fun, but I don't know. But one of the big Fortnite leakers did come out just today and said that they are going to add King of the Hill to Fortnite. So, I don't know if it's just going to be Hank or what, but yeah, like, we're going to be able to play as Hank Hill in Fortnite soon.
Ain't it just the way?
Ain't it? I mean, we're halfway to the animation domination squad, I guess. We need Homer, and we need, well, I mean, it's like Stan Smith is like the original one, but nowadays it's Bob from Bob's Burgers, so I don't know which one they'd go with.
Hard to say.
I think American Dad would be funnier in Fortnite, because it would just be funnier to see Stan Smith running around with like Klaus as like his back bling or whatever. But Bob's Burgers would also be very funny, just to see fucking Bob in his apron running around with a shotgun doing the gritty. Oh man, Hank Hill doing the fucking gritty. Oh man. Oh, I hope you could put the fucking shoes on Hank Hill. Fuck.
You might be able to.
I hope so. I mean, you could put the shoes on Godzilla. I don't think you can change Miku's shoes though. I haven't seen any pictures of Miku with the Jordans on.
No, I don't think it's possible.
Which is very sad, but they have gone back and updated stuff before. Like, I remember, I think, like, Vegeta couldn't at first, and then eventually he could. So, maybe someday they'll let Miku wear all the dumb shoes.
It's gonna be incredible when you can, like, buy your first home with Miku in Fortnite.
Yeah. God. Shit's crazy out there.
It's a stupid game. I got a victory royale this morning on it. So,
Congratulations.
Who's to say just how bad the experience is?
Look, we have nuanced takes here at Gamesline, okay? Where I absolutely do think that, the way that the Fortnite battle passes and the shop, it's predatory to kids and it's kind of fucked. But it's also very funny that probably in like a week or two we're gonna see Hank Hill winning the battle royale. Like it could be both things.
With especially the day that we're recording, the only thing I know is that things can get stupider from here.
Things can get much, much stupider. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, though, I get Peter Griffin, but like, what kids are gonna be like, oh man, Hank Hill, like we're like, oh, Hank Hill, we love Hank Hill, but like, what kids are like watching King of the Hill funny moments on YouTube? I don't know.
That's diversifying your pool a little bit,
I guess so.
You have the fake streamers that I know nothing about with their custom skins for the kids. Then you have Hank Hill for the men.
That's right. For the grown-up geniuses.
For the grown-up elites that are spending their life savings on Fortnite Battle Pass.
Yeah. Oh man. Hank Hill's his emote has to be like you have to do it with like 3 other players and you just line up like with a fence and just go, yep. Like they got to do it. They got to do that. I can't imagine what else they would do.
Shilling money for my Bill Dotrieve skin.
Yeah. Cause like if it's not just Hank, that's so much funnier. Like it needs to be all 4 of them. Like, oh my god. Like, see, okay, having a squad of all 4 of them is funny, but it's also way funnier if you're like in a squad with like a bunch of other people and you're just like Boomhauer and like everyone else is something else and you're Boomhauer.
Yeah,
like, it's inherently funny.
You gotta dang old Metro and Miku, man. We're gonna go get a victory royale, man. It's gotta cover me, man. It's an op, man. Gotta make sure you don't get me with the op, man.
Oh man, oh that's so good.
Is
Dale gonna have like a pocket sand emote? Like
he could.
Oh, I'm coming up with all your ideas already for you, Epic. That's. I mean, no, they already have those ideas. I'm not taking credit for that. That's easy. Those are layups.
What do you do as the back bling? What's the?
Would it just be like a grill?
Would it, or a tank of propane?
Yeah, it could just be propane. Yeah, and then maybe he would have like, what would Hank have for? I mean, I guess he would maybe have like a spatula or something, for his like pick or whatever. And that's a little boring, but I don't know. Can't think of anything off the top of my head.
It's a little tough. Again, I think like part of it is that you have to think of these pieces when you consider like what to put in for Fortnite.
I mean, yeah, the thing is that like King of the Hill was as good as it was because it was so grounded. So, talking about what dumb shit you could put in for Fortnite, it's a little difficult, where it's like, you talk about Homer Simpson, you could just go on and on, there's so many, like, items and crazy shit that all those characters have, and, Peter Griffin, you're just like, oh yeah, no, he's gotta have the Peter copter, like, where it's easy to come up with that kind of stuff, but, when you're talking about this show about very, like, these extremely realistic people, just like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, Hank Hill's gonna have the fucking laser beam pickaxe, Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, let's see here. Games that I have been playing. Let's see. Oh, boy. Okay, so I did write a review for the new Team Ladybug game, Blade Chimera, and it whipped ass. It was so good. Team Ladybug, once again, banger after banger, nonstop from them. They did it again. Great Metroidvania, great game. Highly, highly recommend it. I mean, the thing is, I didn't even have, like, too much to say, because it was just me being like, it's good. It plays really good. It feels really good to move around in that game. It feels really good to do all the combos and shit. It's just a fun game. I really loved it. I don't know, Maverick, have you played any of Team Ladybug's games?
I did play a bit of Toho Luna Nights, and I did like what I played of it. I think I still need to beat it, or maybe I hit credits. I'm blanking on that end, but no, very, very fun core that I could see. So definitely would be interested to pick up Blade Chimera sometime this year.
Totally. I mean, it's got a very similar flow to Luna Nights. Like, it doesn't have the time stop stuff. It does stuff with reversing time in localized areas, which I think is pretty neat. But it's definitely not as, as layered in that regard. But it does a lot of other cool stuff with the combat and with the traversal and God, yeah. There was a point where I was just kind of running around the stage, just because it felt so good to just move around and bounce off of enemies, and like you can kind of do some Scrooge McDuck shit with some of those weapons. It's pretty good. I loved it. Highly recommend. It's out. Go check it out if you have any kind of interest in Metroidvanias. You'll love it. I guarantee it. But I also feel like I don't have to tell anyone if they like Metroidvanias. I think they already know. Like, hey, Team Ladybug's got a new game. I'm on it. And then I was like, damn, you know what? I should get a little bit into my backlog, so I started playing. I mean, speaking of Toho Luna Nights, I was like, oh yeah, there's that Toho SMT game, and I played a little bit of it in the past. I was like, I gotta really hunker down and beat this game. So it's a Toho Artificial Dream in Arcadia. If you like classic SMT 1 and 2, you're missing completely out if you don't play this game. Like, it is just that. It is the dungeon crawling, it is the combat, it is the fusion, it is instead of negotiation like normal, you do little like Danmaku battles, like you're dodging bullets and shooting them back. And it's a little hard, but you get used to it. It's fucking good. It is super, super fun. It's all gameplay though. Like, the story isn't really anything to knock you on your ass. It's got some cute writing here and there, but it's just, there's an incident. It's like every other Toho game. Something's going down. Someone's got to solve it. You're not Reimu this time though. You're another character, but Reimu's still there, kind of trying to figure it out because she's always doing something, that Reimu, and we appreciate her for that. Thank you, Reimu. Everyone say hashtag thank you, Reimu, for what you do.
Shouts out to Reimu.
Shout out to Reimu. Maverick, what else? What have you been playing? What's going on in your end?
So after finishing Metaphor, I've been in a bit of a drought, just trying to figure out what it is that, like, next thing that I want to, like, put my time into. It's a lot of stuff that I can dedicate that to, but nothing has, like, really stuck itself in a way that feels very, compelling, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, just a lot of trying stuff out. Something I totally forgot that I did check out was this one game, Adios. First-person like narrative game where I'd got it on the Epic Store like a while ago. This came out back in like 21, so had only just recently gone around to it, and very straightforward story. The like description on a storefront is very like to the point. You are a pig farmer in like the early 90s. You hide dead bodies for the mafia, and you are having a conversation with one of the hitmen one day where you are kind of just like, I'm done. Don't want to do this anymore. And kind of just playing through the events of that and seeing pieces of like your character and just like that conversation around like, you know, what does that mean? What does that entail for just like the history of this character, what's gotten them to that point, and you know, the game I think does a very good job of blurring that line to an extent, where this idea of like being just tired and like it reads very much on like a level of it reads on this level of like suicidal ideation with some of the dialogue, but part of that does come into play where it's like, you know, how much of it is your character fully just like thinking about this idea of like no longer having things to live for, how much of it is atonement, and especially with like, you know, being at the leash of organized crime where there isn't as much an active say in what you can do for an exit. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like a fun little piece. I think the voice acting really lends itself to what makes that game work. And the gravity of the scenes really works like to bring it all together. And it's very funny for this game to have achievements that just tick off whenever you're finishing something up.
Right.
Like that was definitely one point where I'm like, all right, man, trying to have a moment here, but good to know I earned 30 XP for milking the goats. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. But apart from that, today actually, as of the day that we're recording, a game that I ended up winning on early access just released today, and so I decided to check out Helskate. And Helskate is a roguelike skateboarding game. So
okay.
Yeah, your character is given these, that basically is a skateboarder in like this underworld equivalent, and there's this idea of the Hellskate, this like labyrinthine roulette of like skate parks that you go through, that by the end of it, you know, you are supposed to be at like the oasis of skating or whatever. Your character decides to try and like go check it out. Like, hey, I'm gonna try and maneuver the Hellskate, and eventually gets ticked up or noticed by like this popular prolific skater Garland. And a lot of the narrative there is like, oh yeah, you know, I don't really want to sell merch, or I don't want to do my own thing, I don't want to sell out, all this stuff. And the idea then leads into what the loop structure becomes is that you're hanging out at this like abandoned mall with people who are your friends / tolerate you, and the like setup for what you do then is for actual runs. The way that you get out of each floor is by getting enough like points, which you do with like tricks and like completing objectives in each like floor. So each floor will be like, oh, smash this many crates, collect the letters that spell out Helskate.
Sure.
Do requests for people that are on this floor, which are usually like, do a trick, do like a race against somebody. Very like simple but like effective ways to just like coordinate, and then that leads to, if you get enough points, a option. Well, it's not optional; they are all stuff you have to do, but you then get the chance to face the mini boss of that floor, which, alongside a Tony Hawk styled control scheme, so face buttons for ollieing and doing tricks, and then just trying to like chain those together in a combo, making sure that you have access to like manuals and grinding to keep the combo up. Shoulder buttons end up becoming your method for fighting, because part of the whole story is that, your character gets his board broken when he like tries to go and face Garland, the king of the underworld of sorts. And so, like, digging around the trash, you find another board, which turns out to be imbued with power, and basically, like, are skating around with a sword, and not only are you doing tricks, you're also dashing and doing, like, very basic light attacks, heavy, like, special attacks to damage enemies in the area. And the way that the difficulty ramps up is through time. The more time that you spend in a floor, the difficult it'll get. So there's an element of speed that really starts to pick up as you're trying to like score bigger combos, get further down, and then also, you get your like perks, upgrades, permanent upgrades. It's all very stylistic. I think that there is a core that I appreciate what they're trying to do here. And I think like that is very fun.
Sure, yeah, that does sound really neat, like adding those like roguelike elements to that kind of gameplay makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, I wish I liked it more. And I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's a very like busy game, and that's what it felt like when I initially got it. And to see it now out of early access, that is still what feels the most prescient, where maybe I want to just like focus on doing tricks, but then there are enemies that gang up and just start to like just mess with the flow of that. And it's not like Tony Hawk didn't have levels where they were very like abstract or just like antagonistic obstacles to keeping your session up, but also it's like trying to keep track of like, okay, I've got health that I can only like heal at specific floors, but then that's getting like taken away if I like am out of bounds for like a trick and I like jumped the wrong place, or I like ended up having to do a fight with a mini boss and I just didn't know how they actually like worked, and so I just like lost health that I don't know if I'll recover, and I kind of just have to make sure I can like heal or do enough tricks for the next place before I need to like finish this run. And I don't know, like, I don't want to be too harsh on it, but it's also just a challenging like space to grapple with, just like, balancing out the level of skate game that you do and the level of like roguelike you want to do.
Right.
I also think it's like it leans into a very like Tony Hawk 1 and 2 control scheme, and I think this game would benefit if it leaned into the 3 and 4 toolkit. Like not having the ability to revert, not having the ability to vary up grinding and manual combos mid execution. Like, it's muscle memory for me. Like, I'm sitting there grinding and I'm like, oh, why can't I just double tap triangle or like double tap circle and like, get to my board slide. But
yeah,
that's a personal affect. It's not that the game is like unusable without those. I mean, it's what makes Tony Hawk 1 and 2 still beloved despite not having those features.
right.
It's more just like being aware of the fact that that's a stylistic choice, but at the same time, those are some pieces that maybe could help with that flow that they're looking for.
Right. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, it's also a little bit buggy still. Just a little bit.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's something that they're, it's out of early access, but there's still stuff to update,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. There's more news here. So last episode we talked about that rumor that Nintendo did not want to do any more Punch-Out stuff. It was reported by Imran Khan. Apparently that was just false. Some other journalists got in touch with some other anonymous sources from Next Level Games, who basically just said, nah, Nintendo didn't tell us we can't make one, they just want us to try to come up with a good hook for one. So, maybe eventually, we just gotta come up with something good for it. Which, sure, that kind of sounds like, Nintendo's prerogative, where they're just like, we don't want you to just make something, we want you to make it have something cool. So, as much as I would just like a straight sequel to Punch-Out, I guess we're not going to get one until they, I don't know, figure out some other like madcap hook to that series. I don't know what they would do, but I guess that's their job, not mine.
Right.
Let's see here. What else we got here? So I don't want to get too far into political stuff, not because it's not important, but because I'm sure that everyone listening has been through enough of it. I get it. And obviously we hear, support all folks of all walks of life, LGBTQ and POC and everything. I don't want to, downplay it. But also, it's a lot, so I don't want to add too much to it. But there was just that fucking TikTok shit happened a couple days ago. But the thing about gaming that got tied into that, I mean, other than people making gaming content on there, is I didn't know that ByteDance owned Marvel Snap, because Marvel Snap also went down for a little bit, the same time that TikTok did. I mean, it's back up. TikTok's back up. Marvel Snap's back up. But I guess that's just something to know, is that Marvel Snap is also owned by the same people that own TikTok, which is kind of interesting. It's a little tidbit for you all, I suppose. And then the last bit of news here. Oh my god, we dodged one of the bullets of all time. We truly did. Apparently, PlayStation is backing out of live service stuff after How Hard Concord crashed, and they canceled 2 live service projects from Bend Studio and Bluepoint. And according to Jason Schreier, the Bluepoint game was a live service God of War game, which sounds like the worst game ever made. So I'm glad that they are not doing that, and I'm glad that Sony seems to be backing away from that. I know that a lot of people are probably like, Astrobot was what it was. I understand a lot of the, complaints about it. But if that game winning game of the year means that Sony starts to go back to, Japan studio style games, oh, I'm all for it. I'm ready. I'm ready for them to get away from live service to go to good stuff, please. Please.
Yeah, I read that and it's like, I feel, again, Astrobot is this whole thing where it's like, I don't know, on one hand, oh, the whimsy, the joy, on the other hand, man, how many people did you fire before getting to the point that you realize, oh, right, people like this stuff.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's an unfortunate case of, like, having to listen to the money, especially long after the fact that the people that were doing this stuff, like, knew that it was what people wanted.
Yeah.
And then were just, like, ignored or let go. Because apparently that just wasn't the sense of the time.
Yeah. Well, hopefully things adjust, and just in general, may things get better for the games industry, please. I know that's a low on the totem pole ask at times, but you know, it's okay. Let's see here. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, games-wise? Because, I mean, I do have one last little thing, but otherwise, you know, we're kind of wrapping up here.
Nah, nothing I can think of. Again, like, you know, I'm in the middle of this drought. Hopefully, I find stuff that sticks, or even, like, find something that'll be small enough to just, like, dig into. I tried to get into Vanquish, and I think I need to reorient my mind to get around Vanquish, because, wow, man.
No, I'm going to be honest with you. I could never get into Vanquish. I have tried multiple times, and, like, I respect it, and I get why people love it.
Yeah.
I just can't get into it. So I feel you.
It's something about taking that platinum core and putting me in, like, a cover shooter where it's like, oh, man, I don't know.
It just feels so weird, yeah. Like, I want to do combat. I want to run up and punch motherfuckers. I don't want to hide. I don't know, yeah. I got to give it another try one of these days, because it has been a while, but I get it.
Yeah, but what else have you been getting into, John?
So I saw a video about a Pokemon ROM hack, and you know, that set me off a little bit. I had to check it out, especially because, like, hey, some of those are real bad, and some of them, oh my god, I don't want to hear about it. But this one, I tried it, and it's simple, but it's nice. It's called Pokemon Pure RGB, and to put it simply, it is just an upgrade patch for Red and Blue, where they put a lot more Pokemon, like, spread across the land. Like, I got a fucking Doduo, like, in Viridian City, which is crazy, but also very cool. So just, like, better spreads for that kind of stuff.
Right.
And, you know, slightly different levels on stuff. Like, it's a little bit, it's not, like, insanely more difficult, but it's like, yeah, you know, when you're fighting Misty, it's like her Starmie's like level 21, and this, it's level 23. It's like, oh man, it's a little bit hard. Like, it's fine. Everything that they have added to it just feels like a nice little improvement. You can put stuff in your PC boxes, like items straight from your backpack. You can. It's just little nice upgrade sorts of things. I think they added a bunch of, like, post game stuff, but of course I haven't gotten that far, so I haven't seen it yet. I just got to Vermilion, and it's not like I'm, like, blasting through it either. I'm actually, like, kind of taken a little bit of time, because I do have to actually, like, level up, and I have to make sure that my team is good, because, you know, it's not, like, super different, but just, like, you know, the little additions of those levels, it makes you work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. If you have the urge to replay Gen 1, I would say probably that is the way to do it, unless you want to do some kind of, like, challenge mode or whatever, but this is just like, oh yeah, no, you want to use a bunch of different Pokemon on your Gen 1 run. You want to have a friggin'... They did change some types too, which is really surprising, because... It's, you know, to go back to Doduo, for some reason they made Doduo ground and flying, which is a crazy type combo. It's super strong. And they added a bunch of new moves and some other stuff like that. It's neat. It's neat. Check it out. You know, it's out there. Check it out. Check it out. And then, let's see here. We do have a few questions. Nothing too crazy.
Ooh, okay.
Alright, so, yeah, if you want to send a question, you can go to gamesline.tumblr.com/ask, or you can send it to the thread on our Discord server, which is thegamezone.zone. You can go on in there and just post it in there, nice and easy. I did get a message from somebody asking, to, you know, we kind of went over it already, but, someone, Astra asked me, specifically what I'm looking forward to on the Switch 2. And, you know, and you as well, Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, we kind of answered that just in the fact that, like, I don't know, you know, that's kind of part of it that's exciting is, like, I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I want to see what's up. But, you know, I kind of mentioned it, like, new Mario platformer. If Smash Bros. Happens, Smash Bros. Otherwise, I just want to, you know, I love Nintendo games. Like, if they're going to do another Luigi's Mansion, I want to have the console for that. If they do end up making a new Punch-Out, I want to have the console ready for that. Like, Monolith Soft is going to make a new RPG. I'm going to have it for that. We just don't know what's going on yet. So I can't say I'm excited for anything yet because we don't know what's up. They showed us the console and they said, okay, now shut up for 3 months. So I have no fucking idea. Do you have anything in particular, Maverick, or nah?
I kind of just hope that they look at this as an opportunity to take risk again. Excuse me. An opportunity to take risk again. Because, I don't know, for, like, the, like, thing I think about a lot still is the announcement about ARMS. Okay. And did that, like, you know, go a big way? No, not really. And part of that is definitely due to the, like, split between, you know, live service, trying to build a community of a, esports equivalent when you don't really know how to set up the infrastructure.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that, like, the things that did stick out, you know, when it comes to aesthetic, when it comes to, like, trying something innovative, like a action game focused on the, like, you know, gyro control of the platform. I hope that there is still ingenuity that comes from the teams that are working on this console that allow for just fun new stuff. Because, like,
yeah,
you know, Mario's been around for what, 35 years at this point?
Something like that, yeah.
40?
Almost 40, yeah. I think 40's coming up.
No, I think 40's this year.
Oh, well, then there you go. Then that 3D Mario game this year better be fucking baller then.
It's going to be ass in celebration of turning 40. No, but yeah, if that was 85, then it's like, you know,
okay.
There are a lot of things that, like, are gaining this longevity, and, like, I don't know, I had a thought recently about how video games feel like the only medium at the moment that are so, like, beholden to continuing a, like, concept of a character and, like, having this, like, updated version of it, or a, like, continuation of just, like, how to play with this character. Mm-hmm. Like, no one is necessarily clamoring for a new iteration of Jaws. You can always go back and watch the old one. But the, you know, idea of playing a new Mario game is always enticing, or at least, like, opens that idea of, like, yeah, what else can you do here? So, right. Innovation on that end, ingenuity with just, like, willing to try new things. Outside of that, I mean, I don't know. I just hope that it's not a better eShop. That's actually like the number one thing.
Oh my god. Dude, we gotta talk about that real quick. Oh my god. That was nuts. I mean, did you see that?
One in particular.
So the fucking, it was, I think it was Nintendo Life, the website, made a website that was supposed to be quote unquote a better eShop listing thing, where it's just like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna try to, get rid of all the shovelware and actually showcase games that are good. And whatever they ended up doing, they just ended up putting a bunch of like indie and Japanese games into the shovelware section, and it pissed everybody off. So,
oh my god.
Good work, guys.
No, yeah, because it's like, I like the idea that, like, as a developer, you can just put something there, but also, like, there's got to be a level of outward curation.
Yes.
And I think that was the big...
that you just... Yeah, because I don't know what they did. Like, if they just did like an algorithm thing where it's like, oh, this is like something that was like a big issue was like anything that was flagged romance got put into shovelware because they were probably trying to like round up all the like hentai puzzle games that are all over the fucking place, but they ended up just grabbing like any visual novel or any like RPG with dating mechanics or whatever. So like fucking. Like, they put, like, fucking milk inside a bag of milk inside a bag of milk in, like, shovelware. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like,
right.
Come on. What are you doing? It was just, yeah, it was very boneheaded. And, it came from a good place, but it was just not done properly at all.
Yeah. So hopefully that gets, like, settled. And then from there, I don't know. Always... hoping on a new F-Zero or a new... Yeah, just something that'll be fun to pick up and play.
Totally. I'm not saying... I'm not trying to be like a soothsayer here. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I know this. I'm not trying to hype everybody up. But I will just say that usually F-Zero games are... specifically to highlight graphics, and this is the first time in a long time that Nintendo has made a console that is like quote-unquote good graphics,
right?
Since the GameCube. So I could see them doing a new F-Zero on the Switch too, honestly. Like, if they want to specifically be like, hey, look, we look like a modern console on our handheld, here's F-Zero, I could see that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like, that makes perfect sense why they haven't made one since... the GameCube, because the Wii, the Wii U, and the Switch were all not really graphical powerhouses, so there you go. And then our last question here is in the Discord server. It is hang on, I gotta back up. It is from Big Challenges. They changed their name. But thank you, Big Challenges. The question is, what real-world location do you wish more games were set in? I mean, the thing is that, like, I would just love to go all over the world. Like, just, I think that instead of just specifically saying a location that I want to go, I kind of just want to be like, I want to make sure that any place that you're traveling to in a game is properly represented, and, like, that they take into account, like, actual, like, local opinions and, like, they actually work with the people of the place that they are basing the place off of. That's like the number one priority, because then you can actually get like a real sense of the love and care behind it.
I mean, I think like part of that as well comes from just having people that do have something to show off. Like, I think you mentioned playing this one recently, but Norco really stood out because of the fact that it was this story looking at a like science fiction future that was so like drenched in the reality of the Norco area of Louisiana. And like how just marrying some of those concepts of like the reality of living in that space, led to something that felt very palpable just from like the lived experience alongside the again, like the fantastic elements. And so
Sure.
I don't know, from like actual locations, because it's like you say that, but then I also think about how, like, you know, so many people effectively have a very exaggerated map of Japan because of the fact that so many games take the time to get to the nitty gritty of even like, hey, here's my town and my prefecture, and like getting some of that set up. So like, I'm trying to think where, if there's more games to be done in New York, I would like them to focus more on just like actual like neighborhoods rather than trying to do the full like strip of Manhattan.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I would love to see more stuff that's not just big cities. That is the thing that I would want to see.
Yeah, like you know, Pacific Drive was such an interesting game that I would love to get more into as well. But that focus on like the outskirts of the PNW, really neat. Oh man, there was a trailer I saw for a game that's coming out where it effectively is like a card battler, but you're doing a road trip across the country, across the US, and that was a very interesting piece that I'm like, hopefully I can get my hands on it, you know, when it releases in the next month. But yeah, just like, or oh my god, I'm also like, this has made me think back about like some specific games, like Mato Anomalies. Played a bit of that.
I don't know that one.
It was like an RPG. It didn't really like grab me, but I liked the aesthetic of like this like pseudo fantastical, like I want to say Shanghai, either Shanghai or Hong Kong, but like just very dense cities. Okay, yeah, like a nondescript city, but you know, very much like looking at the lived experience of, this is my experience in, like a densely packed game or a urban space.
Sure. Okay. Well, I think that we can wrap it up here. I'm glad that we have this good conversation, Maverick, and thank you so much for listening, everybody. If you want to continue to support us, we have our website, which is gamesline.net, and you can find us on a variety of social medias. We're still on Twitter begrudgingly at the Gamesline, but if you want to find us at the cool place, it's Blue Sky, gamesline.net. You're also on Tumblr, gamesline.tumblr.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Gamesline. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/@thegamesline. And you can find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/GameslineTV. Our Patreon is patreon.com/Gamesline. It's $3 a month. And I know we still haven't really done anything with it, but I want us to. We will figure it out soon. And our Discord is thegamezone.zone. Type that into your web browser and it'll bring you straight there. And you can also send us questions on there as well. And thank you to Melt Channel/Magic Circuit for our theme song Magic is Real. If you want to listen to more of their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. Maverick, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter at Maverick Drifter. Blue Sky is just maverick.bluesky.at. Not posting lately, but where you can mainly find me.
For John, you can find me, Twitter is at JOHN_MICHONSKI, but on Blue Sky, it's JOHNMICHON. Nice and quick. There you go. But thank you so much, everybody, for listening. We'll be back soon with another episode of the Gamesline podcast. See you around.